This is problem number 7 from the June 2017 Algebra Regents exam. In this problem, we're trying to find out which one of these four equations represents the graph that we're given here. Now, there's a couple different ways we can find out the answer, so I'll share both with you. So the first method is to pick a point somewhere along this graph. So let's, for example, pick the point 0, 4. And what we do is we're going to replace our x value, which in this case is actually the letter h, with 0, and then we'll see if we get an output of 4, or a p of h value of 4. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's take a look at this guy here. So it'll be 46 over 5 times 0 plus 6/5. And if you calculated that, you would get 6/5, which is not an output of 4, right? So that's clearly not correct. Let's take a look at option number 3 here. So it would be 3 times 0 squared, which is just 0, plus 0.2 times 0, which is 0 again, so it'll be 0 plus 0, plus 4.2. And that, oh, sorry about that, a little messy there. That gets us an answer of 4.2, which is not 4, so that's clearly also wrong. Looking at option number 4, 2/3 times 0 cubed, that would be 0, minus 0 squared, that's 0, plus 3 times 0, that's 0, plus 4. And 0 minus 0 plus 0 plus 4 is in fact 4, so that's a good sign. That could potentially be our answer. And then finally, option number 1, we would do 4 times 2 to the power of 0. 2 to the power of 0 is 1. And of course, 4 times 1 is 4. So that could also be correct. So at this point, you could check the next point, 1, 8. And looking at this one here, if we calculate 2/3 times 1 cubed, so this time we're going to replace our h value with 1, right? We're going to see if we get an output of 8. So 2/3 times 1 cubed is 2/3, minus 1 squared, that's 1, plus 3 times 1, which is 3, plus 4. So I'm kind of running out of space there, but you can kind of tell that this is not going to give us an answer of 8 because we're dealing with fractions here. So let's say it's just not 8. So we've proven that this one's not correct. And we can double check option number 1 here. 4 times 2 to the power of 1, and that's 4 times 2, which is in fact 8, so that's correct. So we've kind of been able to do through the process of elimination that option number 1 is the correct answer. Now, another way we could have gotten that answer a bit faster if you have a good knowledge of how to graph different quadratic equations and linear equations. So option number 2 here is a linear equation, which means it would create a straight line rather than a curve. So if you knew that, you'd know that was not the correct option. Option number 4 had h cubed, and any cubic equation kind of creates something that looks like this, either going upwards or it could be the opposite, kind of going downwards like that. So you can see that wouldn't work either. A quadratic equation, which has an squared term, would make a parabola, like we see there, so that's a good sign. So it could be that, but also this is in the form of 2 to the power of like x, in this case h, and that also creates an equation like the one you see, or a graph like the one you see here. So depending on your knowledge of different types of graphs and equations, you could use that method as well. But if that's super confusing, don't worry about it. And you can just do that the first method where you replace your x and y values to see which graph or equation is correct. All right, I hope that helps. And thanks for visiting JD's Regents Preparation.